And the winner of the 2017 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player Award is Russell Westbrook.
In 2017, Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double, the first player to do it in over 50 years. He carried a Thunder team that had just lost Kevin Durant, and he did it with anger, emotion, and something to prove. He won MVP, but the moment he did, the entire definition of the award changed. Because James Harden had a case too. More wins, more assists, better efficiency, and Kawhi Leonard? He led a 61-win team without a super team, dominating both ends of the floor. But Russ's story, the revenge, the numbers, the highlights, it overwhelmed everything else. MVP voting wasn't about logic anymore. It became emotional, subjective, narrative-driven. And since that year, no one has truly figured out how to define the MVP again. One historic season, 3 worthy candidates, and a decision that fractured the system. This is the story of the 2017 MVP race, and how it quietly broke the rules forever. It started the moment Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors. Russell Westbrook didn't just lose his co-star, he lost his identity. The duo that built a contender from scratch was gone, and now the team was his, whether he wanted it or not. The media called it abandonment, the fans called it betrayal, and Russ, he didn't say much, but he felt everything. That season, you could see it in his eyes. No more smiling, no more skipping up the court, just intensity, every night. OKC wasn't built to win 60 games. They were built around survival. Russ had to score, rebound, assist, lead, and carry all at once. And somehow, he did. The numbers didn't feel real. 57 points one night, 50 with a game winner the next. He was everywhere, crashing the glass, launching threes, screaming into the crowd. It was literally chaos, but it was working. What should have been a quiet rebuild year turned into a personal mission. He wasn't just trying to win games, he was trying to make a statement. To KD, to the league, and to anyone who thought he'd fold without help. The MVP race hadn't even started yet, but Russ was already rewriting the rules. James Harden saw what Russ was doing and answered with a season of his own. After years of being labeled as just a scorer, Harden changed everything. New coach, new role, full control of the offense. He led the NBA in assists while still dropping nearly 30 points a game. The Rockets weren't expected to do much that year. They just lost to Dwight Howard. Their roster was full of shooters and question marks, but he made it work. Houston won 55 games, 8 more than Oklahoma City. They finished 3rd in the West, and Harden was the engine for all of it. He wasn't chasing triple-doubles like Westbrook, he just made the right play every time. Pick and roll, kick out 3, step back dagger, repeat. Statistically, his case was stronger. Better efficiency, better record, lower turnover rate, higher offensive rating. By every metric, he was having an MVP season. And this time, he had the wins to back it up. But the attention kept going to Russ. He didn't complain, he just kept hooping. But deep down, he knew what was coming. If voters picked emotion over impact, he was going to lose again. And this time, he had nothing left to change. While the media focused on Russ and James Harden, Kawhi was quietly having the best season of his career. No one was putting up louder numbers, but no one was winning more quietly either. The Spurs finished 61-21, second best record in the league, and they did it without a second star. Kawhi averaged 25 points per game on 48% shooting, 38% from deep, and played elite defense every night. He guarded the other team's best player, then dropped 30 on them at the other end. He didn't dance after threes, he didn't rack up 15 rebounds or 12 assists, he didn't have to. He controlled the game without flash, and that's exactly why most people missed it. Statistically, his advanced metrics were just as good, if not better, than both Harden and Russ. Top 5 in win shares, top 3 in defensive plus-minus. Clutch stats, he led the league in fourth quarter efficiency. But Kawhi wasn't flashy. He didn't chase stats, he didn't build a narrative, so voters ignored him. In any other season, 61 wins and two-way dominance might have won him the MVP. In 2017, it barely got him mentioned. Kawhi wasn't the media favorite, he wasn't the revenge story, he was just better. And that wasn't enough. Triple-doubles used to be rare. In 2017, they became the headline. Russ's season didn't just impress fans, it redefined what MVP voters cared about. He averaged 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists. Averaging a triple-double hadn't been done since Oscar Robertson in 1962. That stat became the entire argument. Every time he hit another one, it led SportsCenter. It flooded social media and created urgency. The triple-double became a symbol, not just of stats, but of defiance. Each rebound, each assist, each clutch shot felt like a message to the league. He didn't need KD, he didn't need help, he could carry the weight alone. But while fans were captivated, the numbers told a more complicated story. Russ led the league in usage rate. He took more shots than anyone. He also led the NBA in turnovers. And OKC only won 47 games, the fewest by any MVP in nearly 4 decades. Still, none of it mattered. The triple-double erased context. It overshadowed Harden's wins, it buried Kawhi's defense. The numbers told one story, the narrative told another. And voters made their choice. They wanted history, even if it meant bending the definition of MVP. For decades, the MVP had a loose standard. Best player, best team. Not always the leading scorer, not always the flashiest, but someone who combined winning with impact. Then 2017 happened. Russ won the award with the 6th best record in the league. No 50-win season, no deep playoff threat, just a historic stat line and a compelling story. The voters changed the rules, whether they meant to or not. In 2015 and 2017, they gave MVP to Steph Curry. The logic was simple, best player on the best team. In 2014, they gave it to KD, same logic. But in 2017, that consistency vanished. Kawhi had more wins, Harden had better efficiency, neither mattered. The media leaned into Russ's revenge arc. And the award became emotional. It wasn't about who impacted the game the most, it was about the moment that captured attention. That shift had consequences. The next year, Harden had to average 36 points to win. In 2020, LeBron lost the MVP despite leading the league in assists and finishing first in the West, because once the standard moved, it never came back. 2017 didn't just reward Russ, it broke the MVP voting system, and players are still feeling it today. Russ won the MVP, but it didn't fix anything. OKC went out in 5 games. The Rockets exposed every flaw in the Thunder's offense. Russ's numbers were huge, but they couldn't hide the reality. He was alone, forcing everything, and the system broke down. The MVP trophy became a symbol of what might have been, a reward for emotion over sustainability, and it left voters stuck. If Westbrook was the MVP in 2017, where was the line now? How many wins did it take? How much did efficiency matter? Could a 6th seed team have an MVP winner again? No one had a clear answer. Kawhi Leonard said nothing, but his silence didn't mean he didn't feel it. He left San Antonio the next season, and 2 years later, he won a title his way. No campaign, no media push, just basketball. Westbrook, meanwhile, never got back. He averaged triple-doubles again in 2018 and 2019, but the shock value was gone. Voters had already moved on. What once made headlines now felt normal. And that was the price of 2017. The bar had shifted so suddenly, it couldn't be reset. The award lost clarity, players lost trust, and the league never really answered for it. Russ's MVP season was unforgettable, but it also created expectations he couldn't keep meeting. His game never changed, explosive drives, relentless energy, full speed every possession, but the league did. Spacing became king. Efficiency mattered more than ever, and when the triple-double shock wore off, his flaws stood out. His jump shot never developed. Turnovers stayed high. His style was electric but unpredictable. Coaches couldn't build around it long term. Teams kept trying to plug him in. Oklahoma City brought in Paul George. Houston reunited him with Harden. Washington gave him full control. Then came the Lakers, his toughest fit yet. Every step told the same story. Big moments, big numbers, but no sustained success. It wasn't about effort. It wasn't about heart. Westbrook gave everything every night, but in a league built on spacing, shooting, and adaptability, he didn't evolve fast enough. Voters moved on quickly. Once he had the MVP, the standard changed. That 2017 season will always be his peak, but it also boxed him in. Because once you've been crowned the most valuable player in the world, there's nowhere to go but down. As soon as the 2017 playoffs ended, the tone around Russ's MVP shifted. The regular season was over, the numbers were in, the trophy had been handed out, but when OKC got bounced in 5 games, people started asking questions. Was this really the right call? Harden advanced, Kawhi kept winning, Russ went home early. That offseason, the narrative started to change. Media members who voted for him began backtracking. Not outright admitting they got it wrong, but rephrasing things. Calling it a story-driven season. Saying it was more about the moment than the long term. It didn't take long for the regret to spread. By the time Harden won MVP in 2018, the tone had flipped completely. Suddenly, voters were hyper-focused on efficiency. Turnovers mattered again. Wins mattered again. Triple-doubles, not enough. In fact, they barely got mentioned. And when Giannis won in 2019, the standards were fully rewritten. Now it was all about two-way impact, net rating, team record. Narrative was pushed aside. Voters overcorrected hard. Players noticed. Fans noticed. So did Russ. From 2017 forward, no MVP race has followed the same logic as the one before it. The rules change every year. The expectations shift. One season it's stats, the next it's wins, then it's media narrative, then it's best player on best team. The truth is, no one really knows what MVP means anymore. And it all started the moment 2017 ended, when the people who gave Russ the award quietly started pretending they didn't. After 2017, the MVP award lost its identity. That year, voters gave it to the 6th seed with the most turnovers in the league, because his triple-doubles told a better story. It was emotional, it was historic, but it changed the standard forever. The following season, Harden put up 36 a game and led Houston to the 1 seed. He finally won. But not because the criteria were clear. In 2019, Giannis took it. In 2020, LeBron made a case. In 2021 and 22, Jokic won back-to-back MVPs, as a 3 seed, then a 6 seed. Each year, the explanation shifted. Sometimes it was efficiency, sometimes it was team success, sometimes it was value. But there was no baseline anymore, no formula, and every player felt it. Embiid said publicly that he didn't know what more he had to do. Jokic stopped caring. Media debates turned the award into content instead of recognition. Now, the MVP isn't about who deserves it, it's about who fits the mood, who controls the narrative, who the voters want to reward or deny. All because in 2017, the league gave in to the moment. They didn't just hand out a trophy, they rewrote the rules, and no one's figured them out since.